entertaining universe. I wanted to discuss this because this came into my, my heart and my brain and my gut and everything that has to go on with those things that are important to me. What I'm trying to say is that, look, every great adventurous expedition, whatever word you want to describe it as, has to come to an end at some point. Whether it's your schooling, whether it's a week-long vacation, whether it's a job that you've been doing for years and years and years, whether it's a record that's meant to be broken, whether it's being on social media for as long as you possibly can, whether it's, whether it's a TV show or a film or something along those lines. Every great story, and I'm not talking about, not just talking about movies or books or TV shows or things like that. Every human that's lived on this earth has had their story told over and over and over and over again. Because every great story has its beginning, its middle, and its end. Now, I'm not saying that, my story is ending anytime soon. There's so much of my story, my journey, my adventures, all of that stuff that still have yet to be told. I mean, I'm only 32 years old. I'm still young. I haven't even reached my 35th birthday yet, or my 40th birthday, or my 50th birthday, or even my 60th, or 70th, or 80th. There's still so much of my life that still has yet to be written. But let's not diminish what I've done in the past 31 years of my life, from being born to reaching my double-digit age of 10, to reaching my teenage years from 13 to 19, from my 20th to 29th birthdays, from even my first 2 years of my 30th years of life. There's been so many stories that have been written in the book of my life. And there are still so many stories and adventures and expeditions and journeys that I still have yet to go on. Sure, some of the adventures I have will be a repeat of what I've already experienced, whether it's going to a YouTube convention, whether it's going to Disneyland and California Adventure, whether it's going back to Vegas, or experiencing New York for the first time, or experiencing, Disney World and all the parks around that again someday. It's maybe even going to Texas or Utah or whatever state, that I haven't been to before. Maybe it's going back to Hawaii. Maybe there's just so many adventures that I still have yet to have in my life after, this year's life, or this year of my life. Like, for example, I'd like to go back. I've said this time and time again. I'd like to go to Players Live in Florida. I'd like to go to the theme parks in Florida. I would like to go see a Broadway show, go to Ellis Island, go to Manhattan and Brooklyn, and, experience New York for all of its stuff. See the Statue of Liberty, see Times Square, go to, like I said, go to a Broadway show. Maybe, do something, go see my family in Ohio again. I mean, there's just so many opportunities. And I know that I have to have money for these opportunities to work out. And I know it's not going to be easy to get that kind of money, unless, which we're not going to discuss. But there are so many adventures. There are so many stories. There's still so many more expeditions that I go on, more journeys that I experience in my lifetime. Just like every single one of you who are between the age of whatever, from the day you were born all the way into whatever age you are now, and whatever age you want to live to, there's still adventures to be had. There's still journeys to go on. There's still stories to be written about your life. Just as like there is stories about my life that have yet to be written. Every single story has either a happy ending or a sad ending or a tragic ending. Yet there is still an ending to every single person on this planet's life. And I'm not trying to be insensitive. I'm just saying every single person has whether they've graduated from high school, whether they've graduated from college, or they dropped out of college, or they dropped out of high school, or they're working at a menial job, or they're doing this YouTube thing, or they're doing, something on social media, whether it's Twitch, whether it's Instagram, or Twitter, or whatever it may be, or they're a model, or they're porn star, or they're an actress or an actor, or whatever it is. Every single person's story ends at some point. And there's nothing wrong with having your story end. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It may not happen today, it may not happen tomorrow, it may not have even happened for another 50 years, or it may have already happened. I'm not saying every single person's story ends at the exact same time. Every single person's story ends at different times in their life. Whether it's retirement, whether it's ending your schooling years and starting a new life and starting something new. Every single story has an ending and a new beginning. Let's just put it that way. And then there's the overall ending when we all die. And now, death is inevitable. Whatever age you are when it happens, if you're in your 60s, your 70s, your 80s, your 90s, or even if you were, even if you died before your story was actually starting, everyone has, tragedy in their life. Everyone has the start of their story, the middle of their story, and the end of their story, or the beginning of their journey on this earth, or anywhere in this planet. Everyone has a middle of their life, whether it's their 50th birthday, or it could be their 40th birthday, or it could be their 60th birthday. Someone has that middle of their life, and then there's the end of your life, whether it's your 90s, your 100s, your 80s, whatever it may be. Everyone has the beginning of their life, the middle of their life, and the end of their life. And I'm not trying to be morbid. I'm not trying to be, say that happens to every single person. Someone may live to be 130 or 140, and that's great for them. I just don't think I'll ever reach that age. I'm going to do my best to reach my 90s at best. But that's just me. Every single person has a different story to write, has a different adventure to go on, has a different journey to experience, or a book to read, or a book to write, or anything like that. Every single person has that in their life, whether they care to admit it or not. Every great, amazing, fantastic, awesome story has a beginning, middle, and end. And that could be a life, it could be a book that they've written, it could be a TV show that they starred in, it could be a movie they starred in, it could be a YouTube record that was meant to be broken, it could be a wrestling record that was meant to be broken and was broken, or started and broken and stuff like that. All of that happens in a person's life. And I know wrestling is staged and all that stuff. I get that. And I know YouTube isn't like the end all be all, but this is my life and that's the way I choose to live it. I live it with the beginning of my life, the middle of my life, and the end of it. And I still have a lot of the middle of it to write, to experience. That's what's important to me. And that should be what's important to you. So, we've got 2 birthdays today. We've got Ann Winters, happy birthday to her. And happy birthday to Donald Skehan. I probably butchered that. And he's turning 35. And anyone else who has a birthday on this 3rd day of June 2021, happy birthday to you. And I will see you tomorrow with a brand spanking new vlog. And ciao. And bye-bye.